Bienvenidos! Welcome to Spain on a Fork. If this is your first time here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon to be notified when I release new content. To my returning subscribers, welcome back. Anyways, today we're making 4 classic Spanish tapas that are gonna blow your mind. Guys, this is the real deal. These are the dishes that you will find at almost every tapas bar here in Spain. All these recipes are loaded with Spanish flavor. They're very easy to make, and each one is done in 30 minutes or less. Folks, this is what Spanish cuisine is all about. We're gonna have such a blast putting these dishes together. Let's dive right in. For our first dish, we are making champiñones al ajillo. This is basically sauteed garlic mushrooms, one of the most popular tapas throughout all of Spain. I'm going to begin by grabbing 12 button mushrooms. I've already washed these and pat them dry. I'm going to cut off a little bit from the stem and then cut each one into 1/4 inch pieces. And as you're cutting your mushrooms, add them into a bowl. That way you don't overcrowd the pan. For the next ingredient, I'm going to grab 4 large cloves of garlic and finely mince them. And for the final ingredient to prepare, grab a handful of fresh parsley and finely chop it. Alright, let's start cooking our champiñones al ajillo. Grab a fry pan, heat it with a medium-high heat, and add in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the olive oil between 1 to 2 minutes, I'm going to add the mushrooms in there and start mixing around with the extra virgin olive oil. You want to mix this continuously, that way those mushrooms don't burn and they all saute evenly. About 3 minutes after adding the mushrooms into the pan, I'm going to add in our minced garlics, about 2 tablespoons of the freshly chopped parsley, and season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And continue to mix this, that way all these flavors come together. About 1 minute after adding the garlic and the parsley into the pan, and again, I've been mixing this continuously, this dish is ready to go. You don't want to overcook that garlic. You just want it to be kind of fragrant. I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the heat and add the mushrooms into a serving dish. Guys, our first tapas dish is done. How beautiful does this look and how easy was it to put together? These champiñones al ajillo are truly one of the most popular tapas you will find in all of Spain. With one taste, you will know why. For our second dish, we are making Gambas al Ajillo. This is basically sauteed garlic shrimp, another truly popular tapas dish you will find throughout all of Spain. So easy to make, so many great flavors. I'm going to begin by grabbing 16 to 20 shrimp. These are peeled in the vein, and I bought them frozen and thawed them out just to make things cheaper. I'm going to pat them down with some paper towels. Such an important step when you're using frozen fish that you thaw out to remove any of that liquid in there to give the shrimp a beautiful texture and flavor. Then season the shrimp with some sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Next up, I'm going to thinly slice 4 large cloves of garlic. And for the final ingredient to prepare, grab a handful of fresh parsley and finely chop it. Alright, let's start cooking our Gambas al Ajillo. Grab a fry pan, heat it with a medium-high heat, and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the oil for about 1 minute, I'm going to start adding the shrimps into the pan, seasoned side down. And I always like to add my first shrimp by the handle and then go in a circular motion. That way when I have to flip them, I know where to begin. After exactly 1 minute, I'm going to start flipping the shrimps. Once you have them all flipped, I'm going to add in our slices of garlic and about 2 tablespoons of the freshly chopped parsley. And you can give the pan a quick shake once in a while, that way those garlics are cooking in that extra virgin olive oil. It's been 2 minutes since we added the shrimps into the pan and 1 minute since we added the garlic and the parsley. At this point, let's mix this all together until it's well combined. Once everything's well combined, our dish is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the heat and transfer it into a serving dish. Guys, our second tapas dish is done. These Gambas al Ajillo are insanely delicious. So much garlic, beautiful texture to those shrimp. Make sure you don't overcook them. 1 minute per side on the medium-high heat for perfection. This is truly an iconic Spanish dish. For our third dish, we are making fried queso manchego with herbs. This is truly such an incredible tapas dish, very popular in the province of Alicante. Basically, we're grabbing queso manchego, we're gonna bread it up with some breadcrumbs and herbs, and then fry it in extra virgin olive to perfection, guys. This is insanely delicious. I'm gonna begin by grabbing a 7-ounce block of queso manchego and cutting off the rind. And then cut the block of cheese into triangles that are 1/4 inch thick. Next up, I'm going to add in about 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour into one bowl, a generous 1/2 cup of plain breadcrumbs into another one, add a generous 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme to the breadcrumbs, a generous 1/2 teaspoon of dried rosemary, and a generous 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley. Pinch in a little sea salt, and mix it all together until it's well combined. And on one last bowl, I'm going to crack in 1 large organic cage-free egg, pour in about 1 tablespoon of milk, lightly season with sea salt, and mix it together until it's well combined. All right, let's start coating our slices of queso manchego. First, you want to dust it off in the all-purpose flour, then into the egg wash, and finally into the breadcrumbs, making sure that it's fully covered. And as you finish each slice of queso manchego, add it into a plate. And continue to do this until all your slices of queso manchego are breaded. Okay, let's start cooking our dish. I'm going to grab a fry pan, heat it with a medium-high heat, and add in about 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. After heating our olive oil for about 3 minutes, I'm going to start adding the breaded slices of queso manchego in there. You want to cook these in batches, that way you don't overcrowd the pan. Exactly 30 seconds after adding the slices of cheese in there, I'm going to start flipping them. You don't want to go any longer, otherwise those breadcrumbs are going to burn. After a total cooking time of 1 minute, that's 30 seconds per side, I'm going to start removing the slices of cheese from the pan and transferring them to a dish with paper towels. And continue to cook this until all your fried cheese is done. Once you have all your fried cheese done, add them into a serving dish, and this is ready to go, guys. This is such an epic Spanish tapas dish. You're talking a crunchy exterior, a sublime creamy texture in the inside. You know, those herbs work so well with the queso manchego. The flavors here are insanely delicious. You can serve this next to some jam to dip the cheese in there. This makes it sweet and savory. Either way you go, you're gonna absolutely love this. For our fourth and final tapas dish, we are making patatas alioli. This is such a classic tapas dish throughout all of Spain. It's basically potatoes that are boiled and then cooled down and then topped off with a homemade garlic alioli. The flavors here are insanely delicious. I'm going to begin by cutting 3 small Yukon cold potatoes into small chunks. These have already been peeled and washed. I like to cut each one in half, each half in half to end up with 4 evenly sized quarters, and get 4 chunks of potatoes from each quarter. Then I'm going to add the cut potatoes into a saucepan, fill it with cold water to about 1/2 inch above the potatoes, season the water generously with sea salt, heat this with a high heat, and place a lid on top. After boiling our potatoes for exactly 15 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid, and these should be perfectly boiled. You can get in there, grab one of the potatoes and just pierce it with a toothpick. If it easily goes in, but with some resistance, these are done. You kind of want them to be al dente, that way they don't break apart. I'm gonna go ahead and drain them. Rinse the potatoes under some cold running water. Place them in a bowl. Cover it with saran wrap, and I'm gonna add this to the freezer while we make the homemade garlic alioli. This is just gonna help bring these potatoes to room temperature. To make the homemade garlic alioli, I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic that I roughly minced into a mortar, pinch in a little sea salt, and mash it together until you form a paste. Then I'm going to add in 1 organic egg yolk, squeeze in about 1/2 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice, and lightly season with sea salt. And start mixing this all together. Once it's well combined, I'm going to start slowly adding in about half a cup of extra virgin olive oil while I continue to mix. This secret to making a great alioli that does not fall apart. You want to continue mixing and make sure that you pour in that olive oil very slowly. After adding in about half a cup of extra virgin olive oil and you end up with this beautiful mayonnaise-like consistency, your homemade garlic alioli is done. All right, let's start plating our dish. I grabbed the potatoes out of the freezer. I'm gonna add the homemade garlic alioli on top of the potatoes and gently mix this together. That way each potato is coated in that beautiful garlic alioli. Once this is well mixed, I'm gonna add it into a shallow bowl. And for the final touch, I'm gonna sprinkle it with some freshly chopped chives. Guys, this tapas dish is done seriously one of the best potato dishes that hail from Spain. Those potatoes have an incredible texture to them, and that homemade garlic alioli just kind of brings it all together. Serve these at room temperature, serve them cold, either way you go, you are gonna absolutely love this. Oh my goodness, all these tapas dishes look insanely delicious. I cannot wait to dive into this, guys. Super easy to make, loaded with Spanish flavors, and each one done in 30 minutes or less. Really quick before I go, I'd like to give out a quick shout out to one of my patrons, Jesper. Hello again, Jesper. Thank you so much for all your support. I truly appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you want to support Spain on the Fork on Patreon, helps me with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this, you'll find that link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.